A wave of tension and fear grips the Russian border town of Tetkino as reports emerge of Ukrainian infantry units attempting a sudden breakthrough into the Kursk region. According to Russian channels, the assault, carried out without armored vehicles, marks a bold and unsettling escalation. The sight of enemy troops advancing on foot has sent shockwaves through local communities, raising alarms about the vulnerability of this quiet frontier now on the edge of open conflict. Amid growing panic, fears are mounting that this could be just the beginning. Many in Russia are voicing concerns that their forces remain unprepared to effectively defend the Kursk region from further breaches, leaving the border exposed and morale shaken. The 225th Assault Regiment wiped out a Russian military vehicle concentration. Out of all the destroyed equipment, only 2 were true combat vehicles, a T-72 tank and a BMD-2. The rest consisted of storm vehicles equipped with anti-drone shields. In today's war, drones have become the silent hunters of the battlefield, cheap, fast, and deadly. While tanks once ruled the front lines, they're now vulnerable targets for small, unmanned aircraft operated by soldiers miles away. Ukrainian forces have turned off-the-shelf drones into precision-guided weapons, dropping grenades and explosives directly onto Russian armor. No tank is safe, not even the heavily fortified ones. From the skies, drones expose weak spots, engine decks, open hatches, ammo storage, and strike with pinpoint accuracy. They've changed the game. What once required artillery or airstrikes can now be done by a soldier with a controller. And Russia's losses prove it. Dozens of armored vehicles worth millions, taken out by drones that cost a fraction. This isn't just technology, it's tactical evolution, and it's turning steel giants into burning wrecks. A Ukrainian drone strike has destroyed a newly built workshop at the Shklovsky Val plant in Tula, Russia, a facility known for manufacturing the Pantsir-S air defense system. The strike took place on May 7, 2025, and the open-source intelligence community Cyberbaroshno reported on it. According to satellite imagery reviewed by the group, the workshop, completed in March 2025 as part of the plant's production expansion, was completely destroyed. A large blackened area visible in the images suggests a post-strike fire. The building does not yet appear on publicly available Google satellite maps, likely due to the platform's periodic update cycle. In addition to producing the Pantsir-S surface-to-air missile system, the Shklovsky Val plant also manufactures combat modules for armored vehicles such as Bakhcha-U and Berezhok, along with Kornet-EM anti-tank guided missiles. The factory has been targeted before. In January 2024, Ukraine's defense intelligence executed a drone strike on the site. At the time, local residents reported explosions and fires on the premises. In addition, on May 7th, Ukrainian drones struck 2 other defense enterprises in Tula, JSC Konstruktorsko Bureau Priborostrenia and NPO Splav. Both are subsidiaries of the state-owned Rostec conglomerate and are engaged in producing multiple launch rocket systems and Pantsir-S air defense systems. NPO Splav is one of Russia's leading developers of multiple launch rocket systems, heavy flamethrower systems, and related munitions, including unguided and guided missiles. KBP, meanwhile, specializes in precision-guided weapons for Russia's ground forces, Navy, and Air Force, including air defense systems, automatic artillery, and small arms. The enterprise also produces certain civilian goods. In Russia-occupied Mariupol, locals are begging Putin to stop the so-called DNR authorities from seizing their property, claiming they're being stripped of everything. They say the leadership is lying to Putin in reports. Surprising? Hardly.
Friends, today the DPR celebrates another anniversary of Constitution Day, which we congratulate them on. Although Mariupol is territorially part of the DPR, the sentiments among the city's residents, the mood in Mariupol is far from festive. To our great regret, the residents of Mariupol have found themselves in the role of the captured and enslaved. The Constitution of the Donetsk People's Republic was written with reference to the Constitution of the Russian Federation. However, to date, there is an enormous number of decrees, edicts, and other subordinate acts that not only contradict both constitutions, but also grossly violate them. It creates the impression that since the year 2014, the leadership of the Donetsk People's Republic has concentrated its main efforts on preparing and creating a regulatory framework that turned most of the residents of Mariupol into homeless people. The authorities of the Donetsk People's Republic, through their resolutions and decrees, have taken and continue taking our apartments and houses. Almost all small businesses were squeezed out. Social and cultural facilities restored at the expense of the Russian Federation are being squandered through grey schemes. Repeated appeals to law enforcement agencies bring no results. Arriving from Greater Russia, representatives of the Prosecutor's Office of the Russian Federation, Investigative Committee of the Russian Federation, and FSB of the Russian Federation do not fulfill their duties, citing a lack of necessary authority and transitional. They blatantly ignore the contradiction between the decrees and laws of the Donetsk People's Republic and both constitutions. The question arises about the advisability of these representatives being in the city. There is astonishment at the constant discrepancy in figures and false information provided by the acting head of the Donetsk People's Republic during reports to the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. What else has to happen for us to finally be heard and for the DNR authorities to be forced? Fulfill the order of the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, to restore Mariupol, return lost housing to its residents, making this city exemplary for the entire global community, as intended by our President.
Dear Parliament of the Russian Federation, the residents of the city of Mariupol are addressing you. According to Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin's directive on parliamentary oversight of national projects, we ask you to pay attention to the situation occurring in the city. Mariupol, over the past 3 years, everything that has happened in the city of Mariupol has been a hostile takeover of our properties, land, apartments, and houses, which turned thousands of residents of Mariupol into actual homeless people. As our president said, it is necessary to report not on the amount of money spent and resources used, but on the results. Work. In our case, colossal resources have been spent, but the housing problem in our city is worsening every day. The DNR authorities hasten to report that all problems are resolved, misleading the president and all of Russia. But the number of residents who have not received housing remains unchanged. We ask you, fulfill the president's instruction and return the lost housing at Kuprin 77 and Kuprin 75 to the citizens of Mariupol, turning our city into a blooming garden just as Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin wished.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.